Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Okay, Sfurti, tell us something about yourself.
My name is Sfurti Nowal. I'm freshly qualified CMA. I've done my graduation from University of Rajasthan and I've done in the course of BCom. And I've done my schooling from Sanskar School, in which I was a house captain. And I've done my, I had working experience of 6 months in Dinesh Crane's company, which is a construction contract-based company. And I've been exposed to areas like GST return filing, TDS return filing, bank reconciliation statement, vouching and verification. And my family background is my father is a self-employed person and my mother is a homemaker and I have a younger sister. And I love to work out, swim and sing. That's all.
Okay, Sfurti. So, looking at your professional experience, you have written you were involved in preparation of cost sheet.
Yes, ma'am.
So, what are the major heads in the cost sheet of Dinesh Cranes? What are the major items of expenditure?
The major items of expenditure were the purchase of cranes that were utilized in the job work and driver's salary and factory overheads also, as the cranes were also manufactured in the factory, and selling and distribution as well, because there were a lot of advertisement expenses.
So, how can purchase of cranes be treated as an expense? You just mentioned that cranes purchase will be treated as an expenditure, right? So, how can it be possible?
Sorry, it is an investment in asset.
Yeah. Okay. So, what are your knowledge regarding aging of debtors and aging of debtors? So, let me put a hypothetical situation. Assume that there is one debtor who has crossed 100 days without payment, and your company's policy is to receive payment within 45 days, right? So how you handle that situation? There is an audit going on in your company and you have been asked to give your comments regarding this matter. So what will be your comments?
First of all, I would intimate it to my senior and mail it to the senior authorities, and if they don't take any action, then I would intimate them to the auditors.
Okay, but auditors will ask what steps you have already taken. It have passed 100 days, crossed 100 days, right? And company's policy is 45 days. Why you have not taken any action before that?
Then I'll tell them that I have mailed the debtors and asked them, called them to make payments.
Okay.
But they are not responding.
Oh, fine. So why debtor aging is important for us?
To get payments in time.
To get payments on time. And what if we don't receive payments on time, what consequences can it have?
We lose the opportunity cost of the interest rate in the banking sector.
Okay.
For example, that if we got the payment in time, we could have invested in share markets or FDs and all.
So don't you think the right word would be working capital? Your working capital would be disturbed, right? So what are the other elements of working capital? I'm sure you must have read working capital management, right?
Yes, cash, debtors, trade receivables, bills, receivables. That's all. I remember.
Okay, you have assisted in determining eligibility of ITC and blocked credits.
Yes.
So, what kind of credits you have found that were blocked in case of Dinesh Cranes?
First of all, there were a lot of dealings in the exempted goods also, as there was manufacturing products which were not chargeable under GST. So those credits were blocked, and some personal expenditure was also taken as ITC, and then those were blocked as well.
That was taken as ITC.
Yeah.
Already taken as ITC. Just
It was claimed under the ITC.
okay. So, what are the major things which are blocked in IT as ITC in GST?
The personal expenditure that you do for personal things that you purchase, any ITC in exempted goods. If you don't do anything in other than business activities, then you also don't get the income tax credit.
Income tax credit.
Input tax credit.
Okay. So, Sfurti, you have knowledge of MS Excel. What you can do in MS Excel?
So I can interpret the data and analyze the data by using VLOOKUP, HLOOKUPs, pivot table.
Okay, so you can do all these works.
Yes.
You have knowledge of SAP FICO as well.
Yes, sir.
So how we can park entry in SAP FICO?
So first of all, we'll enter the T code, that is FB50, and then we will add the document number in the FICO module, and then add the amount and quantity.
How we can post that entry?
So I was not exposed to the posting areas, but my senior did that for me.
Okay.
Okay. So you have got the certificate of appreciation in top journalism.
Yes, ma'am.
So tell us more about it.
Ma'am, I participated in the ICSI Top Journalism competition, and we had debates in which there were two groups divided in, and the topic was electronic vehicles, and we discussed about what is the future of the electronic vehicles and all.
So what do you think? What is the future right now?
It is a very bright future for electronic vehicles because, first of all, the natural resources of the earth are depleting very tremendously. So it will help in overcoming that, not utilizing them. And the carbon emission of the countries, India has a goal of not being a clean carbon emission company until 2030. So that will help in that achieving that goal as well.
So what do you think? Is India have that much of infrastructure that EV can be implemented in India?
No, sir. Right now, it doesn't have that much infrastructure, but it is trying to go ahead with that. And the government is also planning to invest in infrastructure projects. And it has showed many infrastructure projects initiations in Budget 2022.
Okay. Fine. So, regarding your preparation of books of accounts, right? Let's suppose there is a deferred tax asset. What will be the treatment of that, and what do you understand by deferred tax assets?
Ma'am, if we show the profit in the financial statement and the actual profit is more than less than the profit that we booked in the financial statements, then it is a deferred tax asset that is created, and we add it to the. I don't remember that.
Okay. Suppose we have paid rent of rupees 1,20,000 in advance. So what will be the journal entry for this?
We paid rent to renter.
Okay. And what is the journal entry for outstanding salary?
Salary to outstanding.
What kind of account is it?
Normal.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
So, basic accounting principles which we follow while preparing accounts. Tell me about that.
We follow principles of accrual concept, prudence concept, materiality concept, and cost reduction. That's all.
Okay. You have exemption in one subject, right? In CMA final. What subject is that?
SPMB.
SPM. So, throw some light on the use of SPM as a subject.
It is very useful in evaluating the business, in which we could find out the valuation of your business as compared to other firms also and industries as well.
So, you are a CMA, right? So, cost audit has been assigned to you by the government. So, what do you know about regulated sector? What kind of industries comes under regulated sector?
Sorry, ma'am.
Okay, what is the limit for preparation of cost reports? if you cross that limit, then you have to prepare cost report. So what is that limit?
35 crores.
35 crores, right? And for regulated sectors and non-regulated sectors?
So there are two tables in the preparation of cost reports, table A items and table B items. In table A, if we talk about individual products, it is 20 crores. And if we talk about multiple products industry, it is 50 crores. And in table B, individual is 35 and multiple is 100 crores.
Are you sure it is for cost records?
It is for cost of it.
So are you sure you have spoke the exactly correct limits? Okay. So Sfurti, what is the difference between cost allocation and apportionment?
So cost allocation is the allocation of cost to different cost centers. And cost
Allocation and apportionment.
And cost apportionment is the division of the cost per unit towards the different departments.
Are you sure?
Yes.
What is the difference between ABC costing and ABC analysis?
So ABC costing is the activity-based costing, which means the assignment of cost according to the cost drivers, and ABC analysis is a method of analyzing the inventory of the company.
Okay.
Okay, Sfurti, so what are your plans for 3 years from now?
I would like to be in a managerial role position in your company, and I would like to expand the areas of my skill set.
How will you define yourself? If I'll ask you that, give a definition of yourself, then how will you define yourself?
I would define myself as a extrovert person. I love to talk to new people and engage with them and learn about their new experiences.
Okay. So, what rating you will give to yourself as a leader?
I would give myself an 8.
8. Why that 2 marks cut?
Nobody is perfect, but I try to be perfect, so that's why I gave 8.
So it means you have some shortcomings with you, right?
Yeah.
So what are those?
I'm human and I can make a mistake.
So what do you think that these are the negatives in my life? So what are those? As qualities I'm asking. Some habits or anything?
I think that I am a detail-oriented person, which leads to very extension of the time limit in which the project is given to me. And I think I trust people very easily, which leads to using them. They use me actually.
So do you believe in efficiency or effectiveness?
I believe in efficiency.
You believe in efficiency. But what if it leads to costs incurring for the company? Like as you said that you are a very detailed oriented person, but company needs to finish the project on time. There are deadlines and you have to meet them. You cannot say that I was working on this in a detail because company wants work on time. Right? So how will you justify that?
I would try to bring both of them in parity.
Okay.
With efficiency and effectiveness as well, and try to not be over detail oriented, but a bit.
So, what are your thoughts on working weekends?
I don't have any issues in working on the weekends, but I would not prefer it.
Okay.
Okay.
Fine.
So what is the difference between store ledger and bin card?
So in bin card, you only show the quantity of the inventories that you have, and in stores ledger, you show both the quantity and value.
Okay.
So, what are the 4 methods of inventory valuation and how many are valid as per your inventory index?
FIFO, LIFO, simple average, weighted average are the 4 methods of valuation of inventory. And as per index, FIFO and weighted average are the actual. That's it.
So in India, yes, in case of services, when revenue is recognized?
When revenue is recognized, when the service is completed.
Services. Suppose we are giving a service for approximately, we are running classes. for the students. A batch will run for the 6 months. So how we are required to recognize revenue in that phase? After 6 months?
So we will record it up 6 months.
Are you sure?
So as per my
Some students give fees in advance and some in installment and some at the end of the batch.
So in that case, we will record when the amount is received.
Okay, thank you, Sfurti. Thank you very much. चलिए बात करते हैं. So overall experience was good. आपका अभी तक का आई थिंक सबसे बेस्ट था इंटरव्यू. सो कम्युनिकेशन इज ओके, बट कुछ जगहों पर आपको जो है वो कंटेंट पे वर्क करने की जरूरत है. जस्ट लाइक आउटस्टैंडिंग सैलरी का अकाउंट टाइप आपने नॉमिनल बता दिया. इट्स अ रिप्रेजेंटेटिव पर्सनल अकाउंट, तो ये आपको ध्यान में रखना है. बाकी ऐसे भी फी को आपने ठीक है, स्टोर लेजर वगैरह ओवरऑल तो ठीक है. ब्लॉक्ड क्रेडिट में भी आपने कुछ ठीक से आंसर नहीं दिया. ओनली 1 और 2 थे जिनको घुमा के आप बार बार बोल रहे थे. और जो आपने दिनेश क्रेन्स का एग्जांपल दिया, उसकी भी परचेज में कॉस्ट शीट में आपने कुछ ऐसी चीजें बताई जो कि आती नहीं है एक्चुअल में कॉस्ट शीट में, तो उन पर आपको प्रैक्टिकली वर्क करना है. ओवरऑल ओके था, नो इशू.
Okay, Sfurti. So one thing I would like to mention is जब आपसे पूछा जा रहा है will you prefer working weekends या what are your thoughts on it, so you cannot say though I will not prefer, right? So instead of, you can rephrase it and you can say, sir, I believe in work-life balance, because if you are happy in personal life, that reflects into your work, right? We don't have to abrupt so that it may not sound rude to the interviewer, right? So you can say on that, but if company requires me, then I'll be available on weekends as well, right? One thing, and the another thing was revenue recognition, what sir asked you, sir, related to services. So as and when services you have delivered it, right? You have taught the students. So on percentage completion basis, you will recognize that revenue into your books, right? बाद में नहीं. And India's वाला जो आपका इन्वेंट्री वाला था, that was right. ठीक है, we did have it. So you have to just work on these. Apart from them, आपका जो technical basis था, that was nice. Related to HR also, you were short and up to the point. But on some things like where you have been asked की efficiency or effectiveness, then there can be a counter question कि अगर आप efficiency पे focus करोगे तो हम deadlines कैसे meet करेंगे, right? So tell that I will prefer, whenever you are asked, I have taught you in the class also, कि जब भी आपसे 2 option पूछे जाते हैं ना, always choose the middle way, right? Because that is only right. Correct. So this is it. Apart from that,
Okay.
everything is right.
Thank you.